welcome everyone to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, we've got the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
And with us here also, we've got the king of comments, the magnificent Son X.
X time, baby. Let's get it.
Baby. It's X time, baby.
I will say, if you're new to the channel, we welcome you here with open arms. This is a once a week all sports podcast that takes place every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about anything and everything sports. So we talk about, we're going to talk today about the Euros, Copa America, both the finals taking place today. We're going to be talking a little NFL action, some MLB. The MLB draft is going on today. We've got some NHL action. We've got anything and everything sports coming your way here today. So if you're new to the channel and you like the content that we provide, there's a few things that we ask you to do. We ask that you subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss out on any of our future videos and action here that we've got, and also that you like the video. If you like the video, let myself, Grumpy, and Son X know that you like the content that we produce. And also, right, and apparently it helps the algorithm. Now, something that's odd. Now, Grumpy, we'll have to talk off air about this. I just found out. So now on Twitter, on X, you can't stream on X unless you have a premium account unless you got a premium Twitter account. So we won't be able to stream on TJ and the Grumpy Old Man unless we get a premium Twitter account. And the same thing with the Islanders Never Say Die podcast.
What the hell?
Hey, that's what Elon has determined. He's decided that, hey, you got to have a premium account in order to stream over there. So we will just be streaming here primarily on YouTube. But today's episode, we've got a few things to talk about. And I felt we needed to at least cover Euros, had their finals today. We're going to talk about, as well as Copa America. For the Euros, right? Spain, after taking an early lead, England knocked, tied up the scoreboard there. Probably about, what was it, the 81st minute, 82nd minute? And then Spain.
No, it was earlier than that.
Wrong again, DJ. They didn't score till the second half. I think it was like the 50-something minute. Then at minute 73, England scored. And then at minute 87.
So England tied things up, I thought, around the 80th minute, but they tied it up around the 23rd minute. That's fine. So they tied it up late in the second half. And then Spain came back to retake their lead. Kind of want your opinions there, Grumpy and X, about the Euro game there, about Spain against England. And we'll kind of talk about the tournament as a whole.
Hit us up, X. Hit us up, X.
Yeah, Spain was by far the better team, dominated possession, absolutely deserved the win over England.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. Spain was the better team the whole tournament. 7 wins out of 7 games, scored 15 goals, only gave up 4. The best game of the tournament, I felt. There were a couple of really good games that involved Turkey with the wide open attacks, but Spain and Germany was outstanding. I think for the level of play, those were the 2 best teams, and it's a shame that they actually had to play in the quarterfinal round. Yeah. It was kind of a shame.
Well, when you're looking at what happened, I mean, Spain benefited from calls to get them to the finals. They did.
Spain?
Yes, they did.
100% wrong.
They did in the Germany game where there was a blatant.
He's talking about the handball in the Germany game.
A blatant handball in the box that Cucurella's like looking around with his hand. He's making himself wide, and it's a shot on net that hits him in the hand. That should have been awarded a pen.
If you watch, though, the ball that was brought down by Fulkrug was absolutely a handball, the one that he kicked.
Again,
that they didn't call.
Okay, here's the thing. They benefited. Spain absolutely benefited from calls. They did.
England did.
They were the better team. Yes, England did as well. England, I think, benefited from calls the entire tournament. But this is what happens when you've got Gareth Southgate, managing the way he does. I mean, what an unbelievably lethargic England team. Just a slow, uninspiring team with so little creativity because they have that stone. They've got that stonemason up top there and Harry Kane, and it's just hard to watch them play with him up top. As soon as he gets taken out of the game, it's like, wow, they're free flowing. They're creating offense. They've got some creativity amongst themselves. I mean, like, obviously, clear as day, the problem is Harry Kane, right? And Gareth Southgate.
Harry Kane's brutal.
He's finished. I think one thing that we've seen in both of these tournaments, Copa America and Euros, is that the old guard is pretty much done.
Yep.
And I'm talking Ronaldo, Messi, Kane. Game is passing by. It's a young man's game, right? Let's be honest. This is interesting. But that's what I think you've seen. I think that you're going to see, because Argentina is not Messi's team anymore. He's done nothing in Copa America. It's all been who Martinez, I think, is one guy who's been really good. And who's somebody, there's two guys, but none of them are named Messi. Let's just put it that way.
Lautaro Martinez,
Lautaro
Julian
Martinez.
Alvarez has been pretty good. Then
That's
Enzo
it.
Fernandez has been pretty good. I mean, Messi's an absolute afterthought on that team at this point. He's cashed. He's finished. I mean, you're right. It is a changing of the old. It's a changing of the guard. Harry Kane is done as a player. He's good in the German league. He's good as a target man. Here's the thing. He does not fit England's style. Think about all the speed and the pace that team has up front, and they've got a slow target man. It's the same issue that Portugal has. The way that they want to try to play is not tailor-made for Cristiano at this point, and it's not tailor-made for Harry Kane. Harry Kane, just like Cristiano, can play still, very great at football, but it's just not the way that their manager wants to run things. And I mean, Gareth Southgate's saying, hey, let's run everything from the back. Let's just be very, very methodical, lay back, and try to get the pens every fucking game. It's pathetic. And I'll be honest with you, even though they lost in the finals, he shouldn't have a job.
Here's my thing. The difference between Portugal and England, Portugal is solely relying on Cristiano Ronaldo. Nobody else on that team can score. No one.
That's true.
If you look at England, who are the players who stepped up? Jude Bellingham, Bukayo Saka, Cole Palmer.
Sure.
There's other
Ollie
players
Watkins.
on that team. Ollie Watkins. There's other players on that team who can score when put in situations to score. You had multiple occurrences in that France game. Players had shots wide open, one-on-one on net, shot the ball straight at the keep. I mean, it's not a mistake.
Yeah. I agree with you, X, in regards to Portugal not having a finisher. If Cristiano doesn't do it, and honestly, he's a setup guy too. He's set up guys for numerous chances. They just don't have a whole lot of good finishers. You need guys who can finish. England, a little bit different. Just tournament-wise, I thought you saw Yamal is really good.
Sure.
He's really good for Spain. I thought
Nico Williams was really good.
Nico Williams was really good. And I just thought, and Danny Olmo also looked really good. I think that Spain, you're going to see another little mini run here for Spain because they're young. Their play style is much different than the old tiki-taka style that they ran, which was Barcelona. Like a Barcelona type style, not fun to watch. They're absolutely a wide open team with the speed on the wings. Really like what they did. England had some guys, and Phil Foden, who I've been a fan of. I thought he was pretty good this year. He's a system player. I think he's a system player who works really well in that Manchester City system, but he didn't do anything at all in the Euros. Jude Bellingham is the man, though. He's really, really good.
It doesn't. I don't think it has anything to do with Phil Foden. I think again, it has to do with them having no striker up top. Now, here's the thing: Spain won without really an effective striker. Alvaro Morata is not a guy that you expect to be doing much. I mean, all he does is hold up. I mean, again, another target man up top. He's not very talented or skilled. He's finished as well. He was never a top tier guy ever. What are you going to disagree on that?
I absolutely disagree. Absolutely disagree. I like Alvaro Morata. I think, and here's the thing, the players on the team like him. I disagree. He has plenty of pace. I've always liked him. Always liked him.
I thought he played well in this tournament, honestly.
I think he's absolutely finished as a player. Again, he's another target man. He's not a guy when he gets the ball on his foot that he's going to create on his own. He's a guy who needs constant service.
Well, you got two speedy wings. You don't need a guy in the middle to do the same thing.
Yeah, again, like you've got two speedy wings. You need a guy who can also move well, and he's got good movement throughout the box, and he's smart. Like Alvaro Morata. How many points did Alvaro Morata score, or assist, or score this tournament? They didn't win because of Alvaro Morata. Not a single bit. How many goals and assists did Alvaro Morata have this tournament?
I don't know. I'm not
look it up.
I mean, I'm not saying that he was lighting it up, but he's invaluable. He plays that old classic, like almost like a false nine.
He had 1 point. He had 2 points the entire. They 7 games and won 7 games. He had 2 points the entire tournament. He had a goal against their 3-0 win against Croatia, and he had 1 assist in their win against France. He had 2 points as their striker. I'm sorry. Guess what? They could have won playing nobody up top with that type of productivity. He's not a very good player. All I'm saying is this: you saw such great wing play from Nico Williams and Yamin Yamal. Simple as that. And Danny Olmo coming up as the KM. I mean, he played extremely well and finished the opportunities and chances.
Well, let's see. Why do you think Danny Olmo was put in a position to where he could score those goals?
Because everyone's collapsing around Murata. That's why.
Absolutely. They're all drawn to Murata. He's dragging defenders towards him. It's the same exact thing that happens with Erling Haaland. And that happens with Cristiano Ronaldo if his players could ever finish.
Yeah, you're right.
They draw the defenders away. They got about 2 or 3 guys on him, and it opens up a cam to come in to just tap a ball in. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I was going to say, very much like Cristiano Ronaldo in Portugal, they had 2 – he was the only guy up top, and they'd have 2-3 guys around him, and it's like, okay, somebody else has to do something. I blame it on – a lot of this on coaching. I thought Roberto Martinez was not good for Portugal, just like Gareth Southgate. He's just a horrible coach. I don't know why England keeps him, honestly.
He'll probably still have a job after today.
Well, he said it's too late. I think he'll be gone.
He should be gone.
I think he will be.
You can't lose 2 Euro finals back to back and keep your job. I'm sorry.
They said they're going to keep him until the 2026 World Cup.
Jesus,
that'll
be
a
mistake.
I do love their
tournament for them.
Oh man, well look how great the production's been under us as of recent. Our production's been bad for years and years, but now with under Gareth Southgate, look at the results. I mean, the objective is to win. The objective is not to get to the finals playing very, very boring, uninspiring football. Squeak your way through the easiest schedule humanly possible, and then to get beat in the final game, back-to-back Euros. That's not the goal. You've got a real special generation of young English players that are very talented, and you're like, hey, let's try to win a plotting out 1-0 game and lay everybody back. That's I'm sorry, that's just not going to win you shit.
Their defensive back line is not very good. The center defenders are just, I don't think they're very good at all. John Stones today, they fall asleep. Can't fall asleep as a center defender. Cost them today. Absolutely cost them. Oh, well.
Now, not going to bother me at all.
Harry Kane, 0 titles. I think Bayern Munich should think about moving him on immediately, because the longer he stays, the less they won't have any titles. None.
Vincent Company, I'm happy if they keep Harry Kane there. I like that. I think that's the best thing that Bayern Munich could do going forward. I do like this. I'll just read it off, right? He lost 2 Carabao Cup finals.
Carabao.
It's Carabao, Grump. I pronounced that correct. So he lost 2 of those.
Carabao is not correct.
It's Carabao.
It's not whatever the fuck you just said, Grump.
It's Carabao Cup. It's called the Carabao Cup.
And Carabao Cup, just like I said, Carabao Cup.
That's not how you pronounce it. So then he lost.
That is exactly how you pronounce it. It's Carabao Cup.
It's not how Grumpy just said it pronounced it. That's fine. So he lost the Champions League final. He lost the Euros in 2020. He lost the Euros here today in 2024. He lost the German Super Cup, right? And then Bayern Munich, their first time not winning a league title, the first time in 12 years that's happened. And that was the first year that he joined that club. There's a reason he has 0 trophies in his career, 0 team trophies, and that's not going to change. Simple as that. Now, I did find this funny, right? Gareth Southgate is the only manager to have lost 2 finals in the history of Euros.
Well, okay. Let's just say that usually managers of the national team don't coach there, forever and ever and ever. They don't stay there forever.
Something I also thought was interesting through it, too. There's never been a team that's won a World Cup that's been managed by somebody not from that nationality. So, for example, Brazil's won the World Cup. They've never had anybody that was not a Brazilian national that was the manager of the team. I thought that was, I guess it makes sense, right? You got to be able to speak the native tongue, but it's just, I thought that was very interesting, is all, Grump.
Okay.
Did you guys happen to see you had people breaking in and running through the gates at the Colombia-Argentina game?
Yep, I got it on right now.
And they're going to postpone the game 30 minutes because of crowd issues.
Look at this.
They had it all blocked out. They didn't want any Colombia fans in. It's like they're bum rushing.
Just running through.
You want to hear something interesting about Copa America and Euros?
What is that?
The United States viewership is double for the Euros than it is for Copa America games this year.
Yeah, well, Copa America's, come on, it's a secondary tournament. There's only 4 teams that are really even worth watching.
Whoa, Grump. No, dude. Soccer's taking off in this country, man.
Hold on. How is this guy? How is this guy the one who was? How did they single out this guy? What the? Hold on. I got to rewatch that back. I mean, like, this is like, what's going on here? Oh my God. Look at everybody who's running through, and this is the one guy they pick. It's a shirtless guy. Oh my God. Yeah, but I mean, you got people just bum rushing into the stadium. I mean, holy shit.
Let's be honest, those Colombia fans are like freaking animals, though.
I mean, they got the priest, right? Why are we saying that? Well, there was a game, Colombia against Uruguay. Now that was in Grumpy in X's backyard there. That was in Charlotte, North Carolina.
I was thinking about going to that game.
Happy, I guess you didn't, Grumpy.
Glad we didn't waste our money.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, the officiating's been horrible.
Yeah.
It's just been horrible.
It's a bloodbath. It's not even soccer.
Yeah.
It's like
let's see how many guys we can injure.
It was, I mean, all right. I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but Argentina didn't have to play anybody to get to the finals, and they call those games pretty tight. The other side of the bracket was like damn Wild West.
Yep.
I mean,
why do you think so many players are hurt?
Yeah.
Why do you think Uruguay had so many injuries?
And again, like to be completely clear, there's a reason they're playing on a smaller pitch size. There's a reason they're not playing any extra time games. It just goes straight to PKs. There's a reason they're doing all that.
There's a reason they've held 4 in the last 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is the first time they've ever played on the smaller pitch size without extra time in the history of the tournament. You just kind of wonder.
13U size field, by the way.
I just, it's funny because you look at the amount of rest time in between games. It's like, when you're the home team in these tournaments, you get like the best draw. You get the best draw. You're the first game of the tournament.
Yep. When
the game is played, you have the extra rest. And here's the thing, it didn't matter. The United States wasn't good enough to go anywhere. But Argentina got all these advantages. I understand why they're trying to push Messi. Why? Because Major League Soccer, he plays for MLS. So they're trying to push him because there's no American talent even worth watching. Honestly, none.
If the U.S. were on the side or in this position that Argentina was in, the U.S. absolutely would have advanced past group stage. The U.S. might have actually made it to the final. I'm not even kidding you. If they were in the situation that Argentina was in, they absolutely.
If the U.S. was playing Canada, Chile, and whatever. What was the
Ecuador, Bolivia.
I think we played Bolivia already.
Okay, it doesn't matter. They didn't have to beat anyone. And another guy who's totally Luis Suarez.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's 30. Was he 37, 38?
I don't know, but he looks. He's certainly got a dad bod, and he's got no legs, just none.
Hey,
that's why he comes on at the very end.
Goal scorer for Inter Miami, dude.
Well, there you go. He's the leading goal scorer in MLS, or right up there in MLS. It's like, what does it tell you about MLS? Like I said, I can't watch MLS because, and here's the thing, watching Copa America has been tough too.
Yeah.
Really, really difficult. I watched the Colombia-Brazil game, and I watched Colombia-Uruguay, but I didn't watch anything. I watched a little bit of Argentina, but it's like these other teams just suck.
Now, did you guys happen to see, because we mentioned the Colombia fights in the stands. Now, a notable player went up in the stands, Darwin Nunez, and started punching fans out there. And these Colombian fans were just like,
do you know why he went up there and was punching fans?
Why?
They were threatening him and his family.
Yeah. They were going after his family in the stands.
Drunk fans were attacking his family in the stands. That's why he jumped up there to attack him.
I don't blame him at all. I mean, there's
a reason why he was allowed to play in the third place game was because of that.
This is Colombia. Let me just tell you something about Colombia football team. Carlos Escobar, not the drug dealer, but a guy who played soccer for them back in the 1994 Olympics that were held in the United States. He wound up giving up an own goal and wound up costing Colombia moving on. And he wound up
It was
getting
against you. It was against the United States, by the way.
That's right. And he wound up getting murdered back in Colombia for that loss.
Yep. I just am like, I don't like. Look at this.
I hope his punches were straighter than the way he kicks the ball, because he had a billion chances, can't put anything away.
He sucks. He's a shitty player. But it's just like one of the people who were getting in this fight was a priest, a Colombian priest.
Yep, it's a little bit different down here in South America. A little bit different. Banana Republic, right?
I'll be honest with you. How you talk about an absolute shit show. How are you not prepared where you had separation of where the fans were with like a line of cops? Have you never watched a game of like European football? Not a once. You know,
how are they not prepared to create the fields the appropriate size that they need to be? How are they not prepared for pitch conditions that are absolutely atrocious? Why? Because they don't care. They did it for money. That's why. They really don't give a shit about what the product looks like or what product they're putting out there. They're doing it to gain money. That's it. Hence why they have hyped Messi up the entire tournament. Hence why they've only talked about Argentina the entire tournament and no other teams, because they're trying to make money. That's why. They don't care.
Extra days of rest for Argentina. It's like, they even said on the Euros broadcast, because Spain had an extra day's rest, that's a big deal in a tournament like this.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're playing 7 games in a month.
Do you think they'll mention it for tonight's game?
Well, I think I know. It's the extra day is okay they believe it should be fair for everybody, unless you're playing Argentina, I guess, and Messi. Then it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. It's we'll see what happens. The game obviously has been delayed, so it will start in about 20 some odd minutes.
I've told Grump this. I said you will be able to determine in this game within the first 10 minutes whether Colombia has a shot in hell to win or not. If they're going to call every ticky-tacky foul against Colombia, they have no chance to win. If they let them play like they've let them play all tournament on their side of the bracket, then they have a shot to win the game.
If they referee like they've been refereeing most of this tournament, which is just everything goes, Argentina is going to lose. But now if they start calling ticky-tack fouls in this game, Colombia, I agree with you, X. Colombia has no
shot to win. Colombia plays a physical game. They absolutely do.
As does Argentina. As does Argentina.
If they're gonna let one team bang and the other one not, Colombia stands no chance.
Argentina gets, again, like we talk about all the help from the officials. I mean, like, how many clips do you need to see where it's like, oh, a Chilean's in the box trying to get the ball, and you got a guy from Argentina on his knees wrapping the guy's leg around in the box. You can see the video. He's like, oh, this is outside the box. And I'm like, they called it, but they painted it outside the box, even though it was clearly inside the box when you watch the replay. It's just like, oh, okay, gotcha. We didn't want to give him a pen. Okay, cool. And it's like, yeah, I will be interested to see how the game is officiated.
Poorly, I suggest, very poorly.
Colombia is a very, very hot team. They've played really great football this tournament. Prior tournaments, they've been playing really great football. Remember, they just went ahead and ran through the USA in the friendlies 5-1 or whatever that was. They just destroyed Team USA. So I mean, Colombia is good. I don't want to hammer too much home more on the.
They haven't lost. They haven't lost in 29 straight games.
I mean, that helps. That helps absolutely. They're playing. They're in great form. Now that does hurt that Sanchez got a red card. During the last game. Was it last game he got a red card?
Yep.
Yeah.
Against Uruguay. And Uruguay still lost. But they
did let Uruguay play. It was, like I said, it was rough and tumble.
A rough as hell game. You had guys that were getting clipped from behind as they were coming up to get balls, and this guy wasn't calling shit.
Didn't call anything.
It was honestly brutally officiated game. There's a difference. They have the meme out there where it's like, oh, Euros is all tactical. They're passing the ball around, dribbling this, that, and other thing. And then they have Copa America, and they have a whole bunch of babies out there with knives stabbing each other. Because that's what it is, the bloodbath.
It's like warfare out there.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, X, let's do this. Let's start getting through some comments here before we start jumping into other topics we've got queued up here for today. Freedom, fun, and adventure, Grump.
Is Sun X hung over this week? Why does Grumpy need to pay to stream on X when Grumpy doesn't receive any of the swag from the show?
Well, I'm just saying, if we want to stream on X, we'll have to upgrade our Twitter accounts to premium Twitter. So I just found that out. So good to see. JP Grump.
Good evening. Writing from Chicago, visiting family. Oh, I'm sorry you're in Chicago. I've been to Wrigley and whatever it is that they call Comiskey to see the game today. Happy to knock those two parks off the old
Nice.
list.
There it is. Are you trying to go to all the MLB stadiums? I guess that'd be pretty neat.
That's something I want to do also.
Grumpy, better get to work, Grumpy. How many stadiums have you been to so far?
I don't know. Few.
All righty, X. What's the next comment we have there? JP Grump.
I also have to put in a plug for Al's #1 Italian beef on Wells in Ontario. Not only is the food good, the interior features a plethora of beautiful women eating sloppy, wet sandwiches. JP says they pour a special beef broth over the entire sandwich. Yum.
Nice.
Grumpy's so plain. Tough to see if you would like anything like that.
No. And unless X from now on, before we're not doing any advertisements for anyone unless we're getting paid. Thank you. Freedom Fund Adventure says, now I've given we've given the magical TJ and the Grumpy Old Man rub to Al's, or is that AI restaurant in Chicago. Freedom Fund Adventure says, once again, look at the projected Islanders roster is clear where the opportunity to improve is, replacing Engvall, Pajot, Fashing, etc. Engvall isn't a bad buyout, and maybe San Jose or another team would take him. He's not going anywhere. I hate to tell you. This is your Islander team for next year. Now, the Islanders did sign a former draft pick from Columbus. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a problem with that. We'll talk about that on next week's show. But I'm all for taking guys who weren't qualified, who are 23, 24 years old. Maybe a change of scenery helps them out.
Yeah, well, you lost Ruslan Ishikov for him, so congrats. It looks like a net negative.
He was never going to play here. Never going to play here.
Goon Grump.
Goon says, are the Mets back from the dead? Probably not. Is Dog Z a purebred? He is not
purebred.
But he's not a mutt, though. He's not a full-on mutt. Why don't you tell us what he is, X?
He's a mutt.
German short hair pointer mixed with a golden retriever. AKA goodest of boys.
He's got a shitload of energy, but he's friendly as hell.
Yeah, who gives a shit what type of dog you have? You have a dog that barks, a black dog that gets scared when it rains outside. That's what I know about that dog.
X, we have a picture of TJ when he came to visit last, picking up Dog Z and letting him lick him all over the face.
No.
Sounds like somebody who likes Dog Z.
That's right. He has to pick him up all the time.
No bubbas.
He can't call him a stupid mutt, but he can't help but pick him up. And the dog's like, oh, please stop picking me up.
He is a dumb mutt. I stand by that. Frank says, what's up, Big Three? What's up, Frank? How are you? Gungun says, ultimately, who won the war, the jocks or the nerds?
Now, when I went to school, it wasn't the jocks and nerds. It was the jocks and the scurvs.
What is a scurv? I assume like an offshoot of a nerd.
Scared nerd.
Scurvy, skeevy, scurvles,
I don't know.
Scurvy, I'm telling you. So who won, you think? Who think would win in a big battle? The jocks or
the jocks would beat the nerds. Unless the nerds had stuff that they could build weapons with, the jocks would beat them.
Building weapons. I like it, X. Gungu says, what is the most crucial part of sports gear, the mouthpiece or the cup?
Ooh, good question.
Mouthpiece.
I think okay, maybe for you. But I think the whole thing is it depends on the sport, honestly.
It depends on whether it's for women or men.
Anytime you're wearing a mouthpiece, you're going to be a cup is optional at that point. A mouthpiece, really not so much.
Okay, people wear mouthpieces who play in the NBA. Come on.
Yeah, you know what I like to call those guys? A little light in the loafers. I mean, like wearing a mouthpiece to play basketball is ridiculous.
In professional wrestling, I think it's more important to wear a cup because there's a lot of low blows in that.
In baseball, I think it's more important to wear a cup.
Absolutely. You're not going to have a ball bounce up and hit you in the mouth.
You don't wear a mouthpiece in baseball.
Some people do, just like some
Who
people wear
wears a mouthpiece in baseball? Who wears a mouthpiece in
The
baseball?
same people who probably wear them in basketball.
There you go.
Jesus.
People.
They don't need to be playing the sport. I'll put it like
I'm
that.
with you, X. I think X is just so smart on just about everything.
Sure. Now, speaking of this, Jerry Rice. Grumpy, what are your thoughts on Jerry? Good old Jerry Rice.
Best wide receiver of all time.
All-time great wide receiver.
Now, he happened to pop up in the news here. Not for good reasons.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
He
no.
was at, I assume this is like the celebrity. This happens usually like the days before the actual PGA event hits through. They'll have like the celebrities. They'll play like they'll tee off the day before. Are you familiar, Grumpy? Like when they have like a golf tournament roll through town.
Yeah, they have like a little.
It's like a pro-am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Well, they'll have sometimes individuals
Celebrities
that'll play. They'll have celebrities. It's like a mix of everything.
Yeah.
It's not serious on that side. I mean, like if you're a professional, right, you're trying to make sure you're taking it with a level of severity. But they also intertwine individuals that are just golfing out there for fun, that are famous celebrities. So this is what happened during that event. Jerry looks like he's walking down angry.
He looks mad. He's got an angry walk. Oh, he is angry. Why is he so angry?
If you want some, come get some.
So,
I thought he was
one
going to do
person-
his best. I thought he was going to do his best Anakin Skywalker impersonation and start hacking younglings down with his golf club.
What might you ask? So, Jerry Rice, we just saw the clip of him saying, "I will fuck you up. If you want some, come get some." And he was, what possibly could have happened that these reporters were getting threatened by the GOAT of wide receivers, Jerry Rice? Well, they asked him a very simple question. Do you think the Chiefs receiving core is good enough to win them another Super Bowl?
To win a Super Bowl is what it says.
Win
Doesn't say
a Super
another.
Bowl.
I would say, well, they won a Super Bowl last year with a pretty, I would say, considering what they've had in the past, an average wide receiver group. I mean, unless you include Travis Kelce as a wide receiver, which I kind of do.
I do.
I mean, so they're not that bad. I mean,
All I've got to say is, what a response from Jerry Rice.
I don't understand. He's been angry before though, over things like perceived. He doesn't think he gets the recognition that he deserves. And I don't know anyone who doesn't say that Jerry Rice is like the greatest wide receiver ever. I don't know what else he's looking for.
Maybe
He's
he
one
wants
of
to be
the
considered the greatest player of all time, but we know that that's not true.
Well, that's not true. We know that.
Who's the greatest player of all time? I don't know.
Well, he's not as good as a guy who played up in New England, TB12. We all know that. I mean, come on. That ship has sailed long ago. They blew up the ship. That's how far he is ahead of everybody.
I did find that very odd, though, that Jerry Rice, and that again, like they were like obviously individuals, members of staff were like trying to escort these reporters off and trying to make them leave essentially because they had the balls to ask Jerry Rice, "Hey, is the Chiefs receiving core good enough to win a Super Bowl?"
Okay, but the whole thing was, like I said, I didn't. Here's the thing: TJ just springs this stuff on us like right away, so we don't see it ahead of time. He walked. I said he had an angry looking walk to him. And I mean, I don't know, would these guys had bullhorns yelling out these things? I mean, look how far he's walking.
He's walking with some speed. Is the nicest way to
Angry,
put it.
angry.
He must be having a bad day on the course.
I mean, look how far he is. That has to be like 20 yards away. 15, 20 yards away.
I will fuck you up. He's getting right in this guy's face.
I don't understand.
Go ahead and punch me, Jerry Rice. I'll be more than
Instead,
happy.
sick and tired of hearing about the Chiefs and
How
their
old-
freaking garbage.
How old is Jerry
I'd
Rice?
punch that guy in the face too.
How
60s? He's got to be in his 60s, right?
he's got to be up there like that age, no? 58.
Because Terrell Owens is 50. Jerry Rice is 61 years old.
Yeah.
Terrell Owens is 50.
Okay. I mean, dude, come on. You got to know better. There's nothing to, what are you hoping to accomplish?
I'm upset, so I'm going to get mad and get angry at this reporter because I'm playing.
Maybe if I threaten to kill them,
game.
they'll stop asking me shit about the Chiefs. Maybe that's what he was saying.
Okay, and you think that's okay, right, X?
Hey, you know what? If somebody keeps asking me questions about the Chiefs, it would tick me off too.
I know that. But you would know you're very angry with the Chiefs.
I'd say I just hope Mahomes gets splinter leg.
Oh boy,
Splinter legs.
That's not very
Splinter
nice.
X, what are you doing?
That's
X?
not very nice, X.
That's
Not
not
nice
nice
at
at all.
all.
Sorry. I like Mahomes as a person. Don't like him as a player.
That type of rhetoric is not to be said. We see what happens when there's rhetoric.
Naughty X.
I already told you. You already know my thoughts about the NFL.
But yes, I thought this was very odd from Jerry Rice.
Oh, here we go.
Now
Because
this one I want to put up here.
Okay, this looks like a freaking video game.
There's a reason I'm putting it up. So Travis Hunter, you're familiar with him, right? He's the the Colorado is popping up more and more often in the news, and not for reasons they want to be popping up for. So they came out with the or the rankings for the video game, the college rankings. And what does Deion Sanders do? Instead of talking about, hey, we're getting our guys ready for camp, we can't wait to have a successful season, he was bitching and moaning and complaining as to why Travis Hunter wasn't the best overall player in the game and why Shedeur Sanders wasn't the second best overall player in the game. What's this? This is ridiculous. He's over here flipping out about some freaking video game rankings. And now this is Travis Hunter playing the game, and I'll let you listen to it. Again, it reeks of this is an absolute cancerous team. The entire organization is just run. It's a rotting organization. I call them organizations.
It all stems from the head coach.
Yes.
You want to know what? I'll say one thing. If they said this shit about me, if I was a lineman on that team, I would let everybody through every play.
Well, then you lose your spot. So
that's fine. As long as the quarterback gets.
That's fine. That's fine. You might have NFL aspirations.
No problem.
I don't care. He talks shit about me. So I'm going to sacrifice.
I hit him with one of these after he snaps his leg.
I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to sacrifice any career potential I have in this sport just to prove a point. You don't talk shit about me on the offensive line.
Okay, let's watch. This is Travis Hunter.
Okay, bro. Why am I getting chased by?
There we go.
How? The O-line is realistic. Yes, very realistic.
What you mean?
Niggas can't block for nothing.
Is this realistic? Yes, it's
because you roll out of the pocket.
They just can't block for nothing.
Okay. I can barely understand. I can barely understand what they're saying.
Well, that's fine, Grumpy. I'll translate. He said, again, they've got it here for you. Is this O-line realistic? Yes, it's very realistic. They can't block for nothing.
Those are not the words that came out of that guy's mouth.
Yes, it was.
It should have been, I'm a moron. I left the pocket. Therefore, my offensive line can no longer block.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, it is realistic. Shedeur Sanders always leaves the fucking pocket.
No, he doesn't. He's not capable of leaving the pocket.
Hey, dumb fuck. You see, like in a video game, what is this? You see where this area is? I'm like, I feel like, God. And is there any wonder why that team struggles? Look at where your
guys wide open all over the field.
Well, they're running like a verts. They're just running. Everybody run straight down the fucking field. But look at them. This is where your pocket is, buddy. Right here. You've got all your linemen blocking. You sit there in the pocket. You're fucking rolling out to the left. And guess what? Your linemen aren't fucking running that direction.
There's R1 wide open.
There's a guy crossing the field. Even though all those other guys are on vertical routes, there's a guy crossing the field. He's wide open.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's complaining about the blocking as he's running all over the place like a chicken with his head cut off. Anyway, the reason I put this up was because I'm like, dude, as a skilled player, and now he's streaming this, so it's going out to thousands. And now just with how many views this has, 1.7 million views, millions of people are listening to you call, man, our O-line can't block for shit. Well, man, maybe you should just try to worry about being a good team player and not shitting on other players and teams or other units, that are a part of your team.
Have fun running the defensive line as offensive line. We all are transferring. Goodbye.
I told you last year, Deion Sanders is not a good coach.
Do you think they'll get 4 wins again this season or 3?
That's what I was going to touch on that. You think a guy should be number 1 and 2 as the best player in some video game. They only won 4 games, and I think they were the first 4 games of the year.
What do you mean, Grump? They should be 99s overall, dude. Come on.
Yeah, whatever. His kid has no athletic ability whatsoever. And
One of those
Hunter
wins
kid can't stay healthy.
was a triple overtime against Colorado State, by the way.
Colorado is winning nothing. They're winning nothing.
The problem that they have and will continue to have is that
they have a moron as a head coach.
The players, and it's the reason why there's such a high attrition rate and the players transfer from this school like crazy. It's just like free reign. You do whatever the fuck you want. You could say whatever the fuck you want. If you're good, you got free reign to do whatever you want to whoever in whatever group you want. That's really easy to build resentment amongst other groups of individuals where it's like, oh, well, Travis can go out there and shit on us. But if I were to go out there and say, yeah, Travis over there can't catch a fucking ball when he dropped the ball like that, man, he needs to do a better job. He can't catch a cold. What do you think would happen if an O-lineman came out there and said that about Travis Hunter? Or Shedeur Sanders, man, he can't go ahead and complete a pass to save his life. What do you think would happen?
Travis Hunter is a soft bitch. He got hit one time on the sidelines and couldn't play again.
It's different rules for different players and different skill groups. Okay. It's just ugh.
The problem is the head coach sucks. Deion Sanders has always, and I mean freaking always, been a me guy. Yeah. A me guy cannot be a head coach. He makes no bones. He acts like an asshole and a total me guy when it comes to his son. Hey, you're the quarterback. You might as well transfer. My son's coming in. Everything's about him. That's the way he is. He's always been like that. That's why he's a loser.
I'm only going to let certain teams, Shedeur is not going to go to every team. He's only going to go to certain teams. You can't go ahead and draft anybody. But the funny
thing
is,
Here's the problem. Deion ain't playing anymore like LeBron James. So there's nobody who's going to be in a rush. Then nobody's going to be avoiding the Christmas rush to draft Shedeur Sanders.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Here's the thing, Grub. And it's important because we'll talk about Bronny James, which is it's a joke all in itself. I mean, it's just complete nepotism at its finest. God almighty. Shit, I forgot what I was going to say. Grumpy went on. My mistake.
Don't blame me. I didn't say anything.
Getting long. Grumpy went on too long. I feel like Grumpy had a senior moment right there. Yeah, it's just it's an absolute joke. He's a shitty coach. Oh, and by the by, this is what I want to mention. So he was complaining about this. Shedeur Sanders was the number 1 ranked quarterback, the number 1 overall quarterback in the game, and Travis Hunter was the number 1 overall wide receiver in the game. But they still found shit to bitch about. But it's just like, yeah, I expect Colorado to maybe win 5 games this year.
How the hell was that piece of shit Shedeur Sanders ranked number 1 overall in the game at quarterback?
It's hype. It's
because he threw for a bunch of
Georgia's better than him.
It's the same reason, like, why was he getting Heisman hopeful? Why was he getting Heisman pump at the beginning of the season? Well, it's because he threw for a few yards against some of the shittiest teams in the world. And they said, oh, wow, look, who was the team? Oh, wow, look how great he played against TCU. Oh, he's so
fit. Would they have 4 guys who came back? Yay.
TCU won 4 games that year, too. They're a fucking awful squad. And, it's just like, oh, okay. Yeah. Again, they want to hype him up. They like Deion Sanders. They like his kid. That's simple. Alrighty, X, what other comments do we have here?
Frank from Empire State says, golf can make you angry. LOL. Yeah. It's true.
It can.
Google says, the Jerry Rice video was cute, but please play Bobby Bonilla versus the ABC TV reporter. And Bobby Bonilla gets mad at the cameraman and see a real hothead / dickhead at his best. I'll never forget the introductory press conference with Bobby Bonilla telling all the media in New York, I got a smile. Yep. You won't be able to knock this smile off my face. Well, of course, they look at that as a challenge. Shithead media people. We're going to prove you wrong, Bobby Bonilla. But you know what? At the end of the day, they're all dead, and he's still getting $1 million a year from the Mets. Who got the last laugh? Cuddles said, I got to think that's probably.
This is Al. What he should name this is trophyless, miserable Harry Kane. Name this as well. But go ahead, Grumpy.
Belichick and the 23-year-old girlfriend, I think he's 20, she's 24, took in a Swift concert from Travis Kelce's Amsterdam box suite. Well, good. That's good.
Yeah, I don't look at that.
Woo!
Now,
Okay.
here's the Bobby Bonilla. Nick, remove that. Or X, remove that, please.
Bah!
Well, he knows. I mean, he's not fucking paying attention. Gungun just
His
said
name is X. His
Green.
name is X. Get it
X is
straight.
fucking up over here. He's pissing me off. What can I say?
Yeah, sure.
I should have on my Why are you doing Why would you out of my life. So this is pretty much your normal vocabulary and the way you write? Pretty much. For Bobby, it's a normal vocabulary. And you got a problem with that? No, not much. Well, come on. You make it move. No, I'm not stupid. Didn't I tell you to leave? Make it move. Make it move.
Al Leiter
I'm a
has
little bit more grown up than that.
Okay. Again, like anytime you got to resort to that, I mean, you've just lost the battle of wits, my friend, Bobby Bonilla. Not a good look for you, my friend.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. X, what are the comments we have here?
Cuddles. It's Al Monroe. Maybe he's cuddling his Harry Kane loser doll.
Oh,
Cal will travel 24,000 miles in their 5 away college football games this season. Gotta love the ACC action out in the West Coast.
Yep. These super conferences are on the way.
That's what happens if you're the last. It's like, what is it? Musical chairs. If you're the one without a chair, you got to do the traveling. Sorry.
Here you go, Grumpy. Al Monroe.
Harry Kane has the most goals in Euros knockout history with 6. I don't even know if that's true. It's probably not. It's probably not.
Doesn't matter. He sucks. I mean, I don't know. As soon as they removed him off the field in the semifinal,
got better.
As soon as they removed him, they scored goals. And as soon as they removed him in this game in the finals, they scored goals.
You know what else he
Just
has?
makes you think,
A trophy case that's empty.
yeah, there's a reason for that.
I honestly thought they'd leave him on the field just in case it went to penalties so he could miss one to lose for England.
Oh God,
Done that before numerous times.
here, Grumpy.
Al Monroe says Fabrizio Romano with class. He knew Tony Cruz was retiring before anyone else, but he kept it quiet out of respect for the player, so Tony could comment on it first.
Yeah. I saw that too.
I can say the same thing. I knew Spain was going to win the Euros. I knew that too.
I knew it. I knew Spain was winning Euros.
Yeah.
Did you keep it quiet?
I knew that too, but I didn't want to comment on it. I didn't want to say anything. So I refrained.
I said it.
Bullshit.
You did say at the beginning of the tournament, X. You thought Spain was Spain or I thought Spain or Germany. I thought Germany had.
I thought Spain the whole tournament. I said Spain's going to win the whole thing.
You said Spain from the beginning. You did.
Yep.
Cuddles, Al Monroe says, why can't NBA players play for their countries at the Olympics, but soccer players can't again? Because no one cares about soccer. It's not popular.
The the teams own the rights to these players, and they determine whether they can or can't. And in the Olympics,
they're only allowed a certain number of players over the age of 25 to participate
in the Olympics.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why it's all really young kids playing.
Maybe it's 2 or 3 players.
Also, when does the basketball season start up again?
October.
Okay, so they got a little ways of rest before that season starts up then, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So when soccer's done within this, what time period do you think it'll be? August? Late August?
Yeah.
Doesn't the season start up in like September?
The soccer season?
August.
Starts in August.
Okay, so they have literally no rest then.
No, it conflicts with team activities and already playing the game. So it's like, okay, if they were saying, oh, we're going to hold the Summer Olympics in October, you wouldn't see any NBA players partaking in that because they're getting ready for the actual season. They can't be missing games or anything like that. So anyway, he go. Al Monroe, Grumpy.
Over 6.9 million Canadians watched at least some of the Copa America semifinal against Argentina, with an average of 2.8 million. Oilers Panthers finals averaged 2.0. I don't believe that. I flat out don't believe that.
They literally released something that more Americans watched the Euros than watched the freaking Copa America games this year.
Okay, hold on.
It was double.
I don't believe that only 2.1 million people in Canada watched the finals. I don't.
The Oilers, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You go. Continue on with these comments because I'll be able to disprove that pretty quick.
Yeah. Go prove it there, TJ.
I'll get it. Don't worry.
Next comment, X. Al Monroe says boxer La Cobra does the Messi jersey Selly in Santiago Bernabeu after he wins his fight.
Don't boxers? I don't think they wear shirts when they're out there, right?
I don't know.
Do people start boxing in shirts now?
I never even heard of this La Cobra guy.
You put them on. Who cares?
La Cobra. Is that like a female cobra? I don't know. Cuddle said De Gea could retire if not signed on somewhere as a number one goalie. Well, I'm sure there's some teams that could take him. Like he'd go to the United States and play in MLS.
He play in MLS for sure.
He could play another 10, 15 years as number one goalie in that league.
He wants to play for a big time. He wants to play for a big time team.
Well, that ain't happening. Freedom Front Adventure says TJ is so jealous of anyone or anything that competes for attention. He can't compete with the dog. Dog is much better looking, hygienic, and better personality. You think you can compete versus baby Liza? Nope. It's funny. The lovely Paige just sent a picture of my little baby granddaughter. It's the prettiest damn thing I ever seen. I'm sorry.
Well, good. Continue on here. Goon Grump.
Richard Simmons, rest in peace. TJ,
Oh, Richard Simmons died.
I can't believe it. Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
overshadowed by other news that happened yesterday. But yes,
Wow.
Richard did die.
Can you pull up a video as a loving tribute?
Do you know
And
Richard
also-
Simmons is, TJ?
Yes, Richard Simmons. I was watching actually the old throwback of him on Whose Line Is Anyway, but I kind of am skeptical to bring that up because I'm not sure if that's going to go ahead and get our stream taken down, but we can attempt.
Also, Jacoby Jones, wide receiver for the Ravens back in the day, passed away, 45 years old.
I thought he was 40 flat.
Oh, maybe he was 40. Okay.
He was 40.
His Cuddles, Al Monroe says Kane has the most goals in Bundesliga this season, most goals in Champions League this season. I don't believe anything he says at this point.
He had the most goals in the Farmers League. Yeah, he did.
Tied for the Golden Boot with most goals in the Euros.
And he won 0 trophies.
Well, so he fits in with most. He's tied for that with most players. No trophies.
No trophies. None. 0. Zilch.
Harry Kane's done.
Nada.
I'm sorry, Alex. Harry Kane's done.
That team had won 12. We even talked about it. The team had won 12 straight league titles. He gets to the team for 1 year and they lose.
Boom. There's all the proof you need. Bayern Munich. I mean, they didn't even come in second, did they?
No, they came in second.
Okay. How many points out, though? There were like a billion.
Yeah, they got obliterated. It was done with like 3 weeks before, or 2 weeks before the season was over.
Richard
All right,
Simmons.
let's listen here. Richard Simmons. This is just a top clip of his.
Oh, yes, no, eat it, don't eat it. So how was your Thanksgiving weekend? Were you on a high protein, low carb, no carb, low fat, fat-free, or high fiber program? Did you count calories or the homemade biscuits on the platter? And how did you do? Did you wake up early this morning to weigh yourself, or did you put the scale away for the holidays? Today, do you feel more like a bowl of stuffing and gravy or a tossed green salad with dressing on the side? After 31 years of teaching fitness, I have come to a conclusion that Americans are not overweight. They're just under-exercised. Americans are sweating over a lot of things right now, but not their workouts. Look, you can sit around all day long and go on and off those flavor of the month diets, but you will never succeed in your goals to feeling better until you find an exercise program you can fall in love with. I did. At 268 pounds, opening a tight jar of mayo tired me out. And now I'm a fat burning dancing machine teaching over 400 classes a year. What do you like to do? Walk, jog, run, dance, lift weights, or swim? Pick out one and get your workouts done. And when your machine is moving and grooving, you will definitely feel the results and benefits of exercise. You'll have more energy. The stress in your life will be reduced. You'll strengthen your heart and lungs. Your circulation will improve. You'll think sharper and you'll be happy. Oh, yes. And you will lose weight and get in shape once and for all. Don't think you don't deserve this. None of that going into the new year. I'm asking you on this last Sunday in November to invest some time to be more active and bring life in your body. Get everyone in your household involved, because the family that sweats together stays together.
Richard Simmons, ladies and gentlemen.
I cannot understand why people hated him so much.
Well, he's
I know why.
Speaking a message of positivity. I mean, there's
Yes,
nothing
and all he
about
did
it.
was try to help people lose weight. That's all. He had
Yeah.
the sweat into the oldies, all that stuff. I mean, and some people just really nasty about him. I never understood it. Just like people nasty about Dickie Vitale, right? Dickie V. You know what? I don't understand. I just don't understand.
I will say this: at least Richard Simmons. Now, if he was giving that speech in 2024, I'm sure now he would say yes. There's absolutely an overeating problem now at this point for the U.S. But I mean, maybe at that time, I mean, that had to be what, Grumpy. That was filmed probably during the 80s or the 90s.
90s, I'd say.
Probably
90s.
Freedom
More
Fund
like
Adventure.
90s film, early 2000s.
Freedom Fund Adventure says Bridgeport adopting the Fishermen is perfect. A minor league team. It will inspire prospects to make the NHL so they can stop wearing the Fishermen. Logo is for kids, video game nerds, and sissy. I think he said nerds. And
I love that logo, and I
I
actually think the Fisherman logo that they did for Bridgeport, the jersey scheme, was 1,000 times better than the one that they did for the Islanders.
That's true.
So, X, which one do you fall under? Video game nerd, kids, or sissies? Which one do you fall under? X?
He's a video game nerd.
Yeah, probably. You guys not like the Fisherman logo?
I do.
I do.
So which one would you fall under?
I guess I fall under video game nerd as well. Or
What about you, grumpy sissy?
No, that's yeah. I'm the exception that proves the rule.
All righty, good grump.
Grumpy and TJ, can we all learn a thing or two from Sun X? If so, what exactly?
It's next time, baby.
I'm gonna have to think on that one for a second, Grumpy. What can we learn from Sun X?
X is very compassionate. He really is.
That's right.
He really is.
Unless it's about players or teams I don't like.
Well, that's true.
I'm not very compassionate at all.
Like I said, he's like a 5-year-old who just found out about sports, and he is just really. It's not right. It's not right.
Oh goodness, yeah. AFCON players miss club games during the EPL season. Yes, they do.
Okay,
it kind of meshes a little bit over into winter break usually, but yes, they do absolutely miss games every year. Just because that's when they run that tournament. So
only if the team lets him go, though.
Yeah,
teams let them go. Teams don't say no.
Well, probably because most of those players suck.
No, they don't suck. Like they let him go, but it's just like here's the thing. I wish they would just do them all at the same time, but I think it's because it's held in Africa, right? So they're not going to be playing games in the
July
in Africa in July or August or something like that when soccer's off. So they play it during the winter time period, the winter break, so it's at least more palatable. But how hot that weather could be.
Okay. Drew says, have you seen the Lakers' new prodigy, Bronny James, light up the NBA Summer League? It's not like LeBron is Mr. Dictator and set this kid up for failure for his own selfish desires.
Yes. Did you happen to see that, Grump, how good Bronny James? We watched a little bit of video from last week. Now, Bronny James came out and he was talking. Speaking of ratings, Bronny James is talking about his rating on the NBA game. They asked him what you think his rating should be. And Bronny James responded,
It's 12?
No, it's not 12. Be serious, Grumpy. What do you think he said?
A 30.
He probably thinks he's 100, but he's not.
He should be like what his field goal percentage was in his last game they played.
Oh my God! Hold on.
12.
It was. Now here it is. Oh no! Fuck! I missed it. He thought he's supposed to be. He said a cool 80 overall.
He shouldn't even be in the league,
dude.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe your created player that starts out as an 80, but that's about it.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
Not your actual player in the game.
Here's the thing.
About a 60 G League player.
That's
those ones are rated.
Maybe, but here's the thing: a bad G League player.
Yes. Agreed.
His dad, at least, hey, you know what? LeBron did what any parent would do. He's trying to give his kid a leg up, start him off on a career. What do they sign? 3-year contracts? Is that how it starts? By then, LeBron will be retired, and so will Bronny. That'll be
LeBron needs to hope he can play. Just maybe you play 4 years, and he can get his kid as another contract after that entry level deal.
Wow. Rest in peace, Dr. Ruth Westheimer and Shannon Dougherty.
Who's
She's
that?
not that old. Shannon, look up Shannon Dougherty. Dr.
Who are
Ruth.
these people?
Okay. Dr. Ruth, she was like a little diminutive, little like not even 5 foot woman who talked to people about their sexual hangups, and she was like a sex counselor on
She's
television.
96. My
Right.
God.
It's not surprising to me that she's dead, but Shannon Doherty was not that old. She was on Beverly Hills 90210 was her big claim to fame.
You can't remove that X from me. Shannon Doherty, my God, she definitely had a lot of work done. Holy shit. She looked like she was on a rough times. She died at 53.
Yeah, I knew she was young, but that's surprising. I know she's had drug issues in the past. I think she's over
She
those.
didn't kick those. No, she didn't kick those. Just looking at some pictures, that didn't look too
Okay,
good.
we don't know how she died. Does it say how she died?
I haven't. I just looked it up. I'm seeing some
I don't
pictures.
think you should say she died, over drug issues. I'm just saying she had them in the past. She was a real diva.
That doesn't look great. I mean, that image is not a one that you'd say, oh, hold on. She's got stage 4 cancer.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so that was in 2021. That was in 2021. So maybe this is all related.
Yeah. See,
Breast
that's
cancer.
probably why she looks. That's probably why she looks a little rough.
That's all I'm saying. She didn't look good. That's all. She didn't look good.
Well,
But
it's a shame.
yes,
I was surprised she was 53 years old. She played, I don't even remember the character that she played, but she was on there for a lot of years. That was her big show. Drew says, Richard Simmons is boring when he does fitness tutorials where's Howard Stern when you need him? You know what? But he was gearing most of his workout stuff for older people. So
I'll say this much about Howard Stern. I always hate that he completely flip-flopped and turned on the everyday regular Joe, that he built his entire fan base and his entire empire off of, and just completely flip-flopped and started to demonize people. I mean, this guy used to bring on Beetlejuice, and I'm like, again, making fundamentally challenged individuals for the entertainment of the entertainment of listeners, making fun of anybody and everybody, his whack pack that he could, in order to go ahead and turn a dollar. And as soon as anything critical gets pointed his way,
he turned into a real wokey.
Holier than thou. It's just like, come on, dude. Like, you made your entire career off of this. Like, don't try to pretend like you've got some sort of high ground.
He became Don Imus at the end. He did.
Yeah, and he used to shit on Don Imus. This was always a great thing.
Right.
Always used to.
He didn't like people shitting on him, though. It's like, dude, his thing. If you dish it, you got to be able to take it.
Yep.
Alex, able Cuddles, says, seen quite a few Columbia jerseys over here in North Georgia mountains. They have such a massive following.
I think there's a lot of Columbia jerseys all over the Colombian fans are, they travel, they love their team. This is a huge time. This is huge for them. You go, Al says new NCAA football game drops this Tuesday and let's freaking go. So Al must have bought the deluxe edition because the normal edition drops on Friday. Here you go, Grumpy. Freedom Fund Adventure. TJ
having lots of senior moments and blaming everyone reminded me of a certain mood who stole an election. Uh-oh.
Goon Grump.
Why did the Yankees have to get into a fist fight the other day? Does crime pay?
It does not pay. And I did see the fist fight they got into. Did you see that when they beamed that guy in the head?
Yeah, I tell you, I don't know. The Yankees are really in a rut right now. Juan Soto hasn't been hitting, which means Aaron Judge isn't hitting.
Aaron Judge is hitting. I'll pull up the fight real quick, but I do want to put this up here first. This was last year. They came out with a new episode or new Netflix exclusive called Receivers or Receiver Room, something like that. And this is Devontae Adams. He's one of the individuals they followed last year. Mind you, remember when he signed that contract, that big contract with the Raiders? He used to be his college quarterback. Used to be Jimmy Garoppolo, I believe. So it was supposed to be
Derek Carr.
I'm sorry, that's right, Derek Carr. Now Jimmy G is the QB, but I'll let you watch this here.
I gotta get the fuck out of here before I lose my fucking life. I ain't never been hit this many fucking times in my career. Every game I get fucked up.
Maybe you're not fast enough anymore. He's in his 30s. Maybe you don't have that, that separation skill that you used to, so you take more blows. That's the way it is. If I was out there running wide receiver routes, I bet you I'm getting lit up on every single time I caught the ball.
I'd agree with you.
Even the great grumpy old man.
Even the great grumpy. All righty. Next one here, X.
Copa starts at 9:15, so the Three Stooges can watch. Alex, it's nice that you and your brothers will be able to watch.
All right, next comment here.
James Farrell says, baseball draft tonight. Who will the Yankees draft? They need an infielder and a pitcher. It doesn't matter. Speaking of the Yankees' bad loss in ninth, TJ, can you put up the video of the ninth inning loss? Ooh, that's high and tight.
Remove that extra quick. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, high and tight is right. That's the nicest way you could put it.
Lead snap to a game.
Jesus Christ.
Let me ask you this. When you watch this, do you think he's aiming at his head?
No, absolutely not. You're trying to close a game out. It's 4-1. It's in the ninth inning. You're trying to get out of there and go home. 1 out, 0-2 pitch. You think he's going to hit the guy in the head? No, absolutely not. I think he just got away from him.
I mean, it's a fastball 97 going beamed right towards his head.
Yeah, I do not believe he aimed at his head. No.
Okay.
Just the situation. Oof.
Oh my God, he's lucky he didn't get, seriously hurt. He was able to turn his head in time.
Yeah.
Because, he absolutely beams him.
Well, so what did the Orioles do?
Hyde's thrown his helmet away. Brandon Hyde is pointing at the Yankees dugout, and the benches have emptied.
Here's the one thing: the Yankees are all bigger. Just start pummeling these guys from the.
It's a baseball fight.
Start
It's a baseball fight.
You got Aaron Judge.
Baseball fight.
Start pummeling some of these little pipsqueaks on Baltimore. I'm sorry. Anytime someone wants to get confrontational, remind them why they don't do that.
It's a baseball fight.
Aaron Judge, go ahead, Judge. Let him know, baby. First ballot Hall of Famer. Start swinging fists, baby.
So what happens the next day? The first at bat for Aaron Judge, he gets a hit.
They charge him down and they charge him down and pummel him again.
They should have honestly, Yankees should have no problem with it. Absolutely none. You hit a guy up, well, you got to expect a receipt. Come back the other way. Sorry, get the receipt.
Why wouldn't they throw it Juan Soto? Why would they throw it the best Yankee there? Oh wow, they would throw it the best Yankee, Aaron Judge. Oh man,
he's a bigger, stupider looking target.
Umpires trying to hold the players in.
Just look at how big Aaron Judge is, and all. The Yankees have a much better stature than these little pitchers.
Those guys from the dugouts absolutely hate having to run in from the dugouts and get him. It's one thing they absolutely do not want to do. It's like, dude, come on! I'm just back here watching TV. Game's over. Just doing my sunflower seeds, and I got to jog in all the way from the bullpen.
I love how it's like they're running in unison. Instead of them getting into a fight out there in the outfield, they're like, let's go ahead and run.
Now, that would be good. No, they would probably just hold one another.
Like they do in hockey when they don't want to fight. Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. 2 goalies hold one another.
Okay. X, what other comments do we have here?
Alex says Copa America finals tickets are selling for more than the Euros final did. I don't believe that.
Yeah, no.
I just saw a whole bunch of people getting it for free, so I'm not sure I believe that one either.
That's right. They just left the gates.
No, I'm gonna doubt that. They had one ticket that's going for Copa America $97,000, but who the hell is actually buying that ticket?
No one.
That's my point. You had England fans who were spending £15,000 to get into the game for today. And yeah, you know what? I would say that probably the Copa America tickets right now are going for more than the Euro one, seeing as Euro's over. So,
Frank from Empire State says Copa America has been delayed for over an hour due to morons already acting up, some sneaking in with no tickets. It's Copa America. What can I tell you? It is what it is. James Farrell says the Mets drafted Carson Benji. I don't know. Right fielder from Oklahoma State. I know absolutely nothing about any of these guys who are coming out of high school / college to be drafted by anyone in Major League Baseball. They're so far away, it doesn't matter. Unless your name is Paul Skeens, usually it takes you a few years, doesn't it? The Skeens kid's the real deal. He's the real deal. He's starting the All-Star game this Tuesday for the National League. Drew says, damn, X, you're censoring my comments.
I didn't censor anything.
Believe me, Drew, there's no way he's censoring your comments. Too damn lazy. James Farrell says the wrong game. TJ show today's Yankee game. Come on.
I want
Show
to
the bottom
show
of
the
the
fight first.
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking about the miserable error that cost the Yankees their game today.
The Yankees, they got a shitty manager. General manager's got to go. Manager's got to go. Some of the players got to go.
They should put Aaron Judge. So you got Ducks on the pond, bottom of the ninth, 5-3. You
0-2.
got 0-2
Two
count,
outs.
2 outs. Holy shit!
This is loaded.
Oh my god!
Mountcastle bounces it to Volpe, who has a trouble.
Ugh.
Holy
Ugh.
shit! Alrighty, hey Volpe, you're sitting on the bench for the next fucking week.
He
You know
is
you got the
really-
All-Star game. You're sitting on the bench the entire time, and maybe after you get from the All-Star break, maybe we'll play you.
I mean, do you remember when everyone thought, man, Volpe's going to break out? He was really good at the beginning of the year. He's been horrible the last 2 months. Horrible.
Ugh. Yikes!
Ugh. My God. You got to kind of be near the base there, too. There. Is that Torres? I don't know. I thought it was 35. I don't know.
And you usually don't see that from
Yeah, usually don't see that from Anthony Volpe.
Mullins to left.
Oh, God. Oh! Whoa.
Oh my
Why
god!
is he so shallow?
He runs forward, which is the part that blows my mind. He's like, okay, how long does it take him to read that fucking
Okay.
ball?
X. You've played outfield before. What does every coach tell you on a fly ball? Where should your first step go?
Back always.
Back, always. First step back. And then if you have to come in, you come in.
Jesus H.
I mean, there was
It's
2
common
outs.
sense shit.
Just catch a fly ball. Oh my God.
Who
And
is
then
that?
balls.
It's
Alex
Verdugo, Alex Verdugo.
He should never play again.
They should
You
not.
know, he looks like a senior citizen out there trying to run and get
You
something.
remember that guy last year, the ball boy for the San Francisco Giants who went tumbling around doing the little tumbleina, and
Yes.
everybody laughed at him?
Yes.
That's what he looked like.
Oh my god.
My God, first step is back, always. Don't even chase the ball, dude. It's over.
They should be dumping the freaking Kool-Aid on Volpe and freaking what's his face.
The standings in the
Verdugo.
AL. What are the standings in the AL East now?
I'll pull it up.
I mean, Baltimore's got to be light years ahead of the
They're
Yankees now.
top. The Yankees are 1 game back.
Really? Because the Yankees have lost like 17 of the last 22.
I'm sorry. The Orioles are 58-38. Yankees are 58-40. That game was, that game could have absolutely flipped them up. But it's just like, yeah, you lose that game, you play like shit. I mean, like,
This is one of these games that they start at 11:30 in the morning. I hate that. Why are you starting baseball games at 11:30? It means I got to get up early to make sure my fantasy teams are all updated in their lineups. I don't like that.
oh, okay. Can we watch this error by Volpe again? Holy shit!
Sure.
Jesus Christ!
Why do you keep pausing it?
I don't fucking get how he doesn't get in front of this ball and fucking crowd that correctly. Jeez.
It happens sometimes. It happens. Yeah, he's got to pick that up clean, though. That's when you got to pick up clean.
You're a professional. I'm sorry. No fucking excuses.
Okay, they're errors for a reason. They are. Come on.
Yeah. Bad time to have an error. Let me put you like that. What other comments do we have? Here we go.
Drew says Clay Holmes is finished as a pitcher. He doesn't have the same juice anymore as pitchers. Well, I'll say this, Drew. Relief pitchers are sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. Sometimes they'll have a good year, then they're followed by a bad year, and then they bounce back the next year. James Farrell says Yankees win the series versus the Orioles. The last Yankee series win was June 12th.
I want to put this up. Now, this was done by projected records by Fox Sports. Look at this here.
Okay. They're wrong already. I'm just looking at the AFC East. They're wrong.
12-5 for Miami. God almighty. 10-7 for the Jets. I think that's lowballing the Jets. 10-7 for the Bills. That may be highballing the Bills with what they had going on.
I think 10-7 or 11-6 is what the Bills.
The Bills have no one left.
The Bills, I think, are going to struggle a lot more than you think this year.
They got Josh Allen.
Yeah. Well, Josh Allen all he is 1 hit away from concussion because he tries to play Josh Allen ball, and they're going to have him do that more.
Well, he's really going to have to play it now because he's got nobody else to throw the ball to. Was he going to throw it to himself?
The
Okay,
big
so-
one I kind of laughed at is
Are we going to go through everything or just do a quick blow by on this?
quick blow by because there's a lot of time till the season starts and we'll have plenty of these. But I'm like, just based off of when you wish your initial look and thought is, there was a few things that stuck out to me.
Bengals. I think the Bengals are going to. I think this is the Bengals' year. I really do.
I think so too. Now, again, I think the Chargers play much better this year. They'll have a much better record than 9-8, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Now we're looking here. Oh, I'm sorry, the Eagles at 12-5. I'm just not sure about that.
I don't know about that. I think Saquon Barkley is a really good pickup for them.
Yep.
There is no way in hell the Green Bay Packers are 11-6. No way in hell.
I disagree.
With Jordan Love at quarterback, there's no fucking way that team ever wins 11 games. Never.
I disagree. I think Jordan Love is good enough at quarterback.
Atlanta's going to be really good. They're probably going to be better than that. They're going to be running a 2-quarterback scheme where they got 2 QBs out there on the field, and they just throw sideways laterals to each other, keep teams on their toes. They don't know who's going to be throwing the ball. So,
well, neither one of them are good runners, though, so I don't know what the hell.
They don't have to run. They can just throw it.
Here's the narrative that I think is just comical, that Caleb Williams is going to come in, and the Bears are like contenders for the title.
I thought that was a joke too. I'm like, the Bears, there's no way they're going to be 9-8. No shot in hell.
And I don't think there's any way that Minnesota is 8-9. No way.
It's just jokes upon jokes.
What were some of the others? I mean, I know I just want to kind of hit on some of the others.
Just the big ones that were outliers.
Well, just the rest of the NFC. I got to think. A 13-4 for San Francisco is high. I think the Rams are going to win that division. I just do. And Giants 8-9, man, I don't know about that. Now, supposedly Danny Dimes has gotten in the best shape of his life. Why? Because he knows he's going to threaten to get cut after this year if he doesn't produce.
It doesn't matter. He's a shitty quarterback. There's no shot in hell he does.
Don't you think the Cowboys going to be better than 10-7 though?
No.
Okay.
The Cowboys suck. I just do. They just are, again, things go great when they go great. If face any sort of adversity, they suck. I think they have a bad record this season.
Of the top 3 quarterbacks who were drafted, who do you think is going to have the better year? Is it going to be
maybe want to save that for later. I just wanted to put this up here just to go ahead and showcase that, Grumpy. I thought there were some that I was just like, holy shit, no way in hell. And that's what I wanted to put that up. It's way too early right now. We'll have to do our judgments later on, and we'll see preseason. But let's see what other comments we have, Grumpy.
TJ and Son X, which one of you sly bastards enjoyed playing your preferred sport most in college? Grumpy, can you sing us some Sister Sledge?
I'm sure I enjoyed more because X stopped playing after a bit. So
we are family.
I got all my sisters and me.
James Farrell, Grumpy.
No way in hell the Jets win 10 games. They got the Donkeys and the Chargers over the Raiders. No way in hell. Raiders don't have a quarterback.
That's true.
Raiders don't have a quarterback.
Goon Grump.
The O'Connell kid, forget about it. Goon says the Jets at 10-7. Grumpy, would you feel like heaven? I think the Jets can be better than 10-7. I think the Jets could easily win that division. I'm close to picking. Well, they got to play the Bengals, but other than that, I pick them to go to Super Bowl.
Well, let's wrap this up here today. Grumpy X, what do you want to say before we wrap things up here today?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't, from TJ, the grumpy old man, and Son X.
Son X, what do you want to say before we wrap things up today?
I want to thank everybody for coming out and listening as always. Enjoy the interaction in the comments, and we will see you guys next time.
Thanks so much, guys, for watching. X is in the dark now. He's in the dark here. Thank you so much.
I'm in the dark here.
I'm in the dark here. Hey, thank you so much, guys. Bye.